2 words, Revo Fitness. Here's a few more. Simple, 24/7, Reformer Pilates, body scanners, massage chairs, squat racks, free weights, pin and plate loaded equipment, no lock-in contracts, no bullshit. All of that and more from just $9.69 a week. That's surprisingly affordable. Join now at Revo Fitness Windsor Gardens or download the Revo Fitness app. RevoFitness.com.au or find the Revo Fitness app in the App Store.
The Ash, Lutzi and Nikki Osborne Snackbox.
This is Ash versus Nikki fighting it out over astrology.
Okay, Ashley.
I don't think you're
Are
fighting.
you ready to open your mind?
Yeah, you're not fighting it out. I mean,
Yes, I am.
but it's just a fight, is it?
Well, I feel
I
like
don't feel like that's an
No, it's
accurate
not.
one.
No,
It's
it's
like
not
Nikki's
fighting.
trying to open our eyes to it.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're a cynic.
Yeah.
I'm beating you over the head weekly.
Are you?
no, but you're
and
not
try-
really. It's nice.
No, it's a softly approach. I'm starting to find Lutzi's starting to ask questions about
Like, why did that
some of the
massage
planets.
place in Indooroopilly shut? It's the music. It takes me there every time.
Just when you think you've got him,
Oh,
Nikki.
it's the music.
Every time
He
I
brings
talk
it back
about
to the massage
what,
shop in Indooroopilly.
every
Doesn't
time I
he?
mention Uranus, he goes straight there.
He's
or
been.
to Thailand.
That's got nothing to do with you. He's been doing that for like
No,
nigh
this
on
is
2
me.
decades.
Yeah.
I love how it's a massage shop.
Yeah, they call
I've
them
never thought of them as a shop.
They call them shops.
Yeah, interesting. I had the weirdest dream last night. But anyway, moving
No, well,
on.
that's another segment.
Hold that.
Hold that for next week. Play a long game
Okay.
here.
All right.
So what are we doing? What have we got?
Ashley, I am talking about the week that was for you. So
What was the week
rewind
that
back.
was? See, this is
over
the
the
problem. As I
last
sit
week.
here every Friday, all I'm doing is looking forward because it's the weekend, and I find it hard to look back.
Well, look, I must say we have been arguing in the meetings after these segments going, should we actually be talking ahead so it's useful for people, just in case it is a bit of a heads up for people of what's to come. But for now,
Let's give it one more go.
let's
Okay, one more go.
reflect.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, here we go.
Okay. Ashley, Libra. The equinox on Thursday will be a cosmic reset, a moment of balance, light and rebirth. So that was just yesterday.
What'd you
do
Did you
yesterday?
feel like you were resetting?
I went to footy training with Archie. I came back and I watched the footy last night, and I backed Penrith at plus 13 and a
Yeah.
half, and I had quite the crack
And there
at
were
it.
several set restarts.
So what does that
Okay.
mean?
We had to reset.
Yeah, reset.
It actually makes sense.
Yep.
And you did find a moment of balance. You had time with your son and you had time with your football. There
Yes.
we go.
Yeah, there you
Yes. And I won my bet.
Good man.
go.
Yeah.
He won a bet.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Well,
It was
that's
all in the
accurate, Nikki.
planets.
That is
Good.
accurate.
Bet
I
with
will
your head.
continue on.
Bet with your head, not with the planets.
Or maybe
Good
do
advice.
bet with the
Actually,
planets.
maybe
It
bet
might
with the
be a good-
planets. And that's a good segment. Okay, again for next week. But, yeah.
Oh, betting with,
Betting
the,
with the
planets.
planets.
Oh, we'd have to get a proper
Run that past
astrologer on,
me.
not just me parroting all this.
But
stuff.
I'll cop that one.
Run that past legal.
I'll cop that.
You'd cop that? Okay. Here we go.
No, I accept
As he-
that.
Yeah.
As the Earth begins its tilt toward more light, we're encouraged to nurture the seeds of intention we plant during this time. So, any ideas you've had that you want to pursue,
Yeah.
keep nurturing those.
Yep, okay.
Are you finding you're doing that?
You've had elements of business this week.
That's true.
He has.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, he's
Yeah.
not known you in this bloke. He's got so many things going on. He's got fingers everywhere.
This is
Fingers
especially
pies,
true.
Fill in the blanks.
Oh, I don't know. I don't need
Come
to know
on.
where your fingers go. This is especially true with the sun making its debut in the fiery, action-orientated sign of Aries. A time to take bold steps and pursue our passions. Oh, you gotta make a leap somewhere. Did you make a leap?
No, but pursuing passions. I mean, hello.
Hello.
I'm going
What?
fishing this weekend.
And that's probably your biggest passion.
Yeah. Like, without doubt.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, that's good. See, now we've changed to a new person now.
So the
Ash.
stars are telling... And golf. I'm right into that at the
And
moment.
these are-
So their stars are telling me...
They are your passion.
It's written in the stars. Go fishing.
Jody.
Play golf. and something's in retrograde. But either way, I've got to go
Mercury's
fishing.
Yeah, Mercury's in
And
retrograde.
Uranus never lies.
Or
Nikki,
it can.
I'm accepting it. I'm taking
Never
it.
trust a
I'm
fart.
taking it. It's written in the stars.
Well, this is good because we switched over to an astrologer who I kind of admire a lot more. So
I like this bloke
is
more.
interesting.
If it's a
yeah.
bloke.
This
Is it a
guy's
bloke?
better.
Yeah.
It is a bloke.
Yeah.
Okay, for cardinal signs, that's Aries, Cancer, I'm included in that, I'm a Cancer, Libra and Capricorn. This moment marks the beginning of a new chapter, one that could bring significant milestones and opportunities that catapult them forward.
That's good.
That's a good thing. So, we're having a good time here. Ash,
Yeah.
now, got something you want to say, Libra? Whether you're reaching out to an old friend or starting a new project, there's energy surrounding your voice, thoughts, and ideas. Do you feel like your ideas are being supported at the moment?
Yeah.
Well, what struck my mind was the reaching out to an old friend
there
and
you
just
go.
running it through the fishing filter again.
Yeah.
Like-
Ross McCoven?
No. Groover. Groover.
Oh, he's got-
I reached out to Groover this week, who runs. He's got a fishing
He's got a
charter.
fishing
I'm not
charter.
even going to say where it is.
Okay.
But I am in the
such a secretive thing.
I am in the process of locking down a week with Groover later this year, up at an
my
undisclosed
God.
location,
Oh my
going
God.
barramundi fishing. Like that, I did. I reached out of nowhere.
So that's spot on.
Well, there you go. I feel like I've won the battle today.
That's legit. That's legit. I did.
Now,
That's
just be aware. Now, we're moving on. Just be aware. Mercury's in retrograde for the next 2.5 weeks, which means, confirm. There's going to be miscommunications. You're going to miss emails. They're going to get lost. Text's going to let you down. Like your Bluetooth won't work in the car. Traffic will be a pain in the butt. This is what you have to deal with, so just be patient. That's just my general warning for everybody. But there we go. Astrology has kicked some goals this week.
The Ash, Lutzi and Nikki Osborne Snackbox.
Now, we were talking just last week about someone who was Brisbane born and bred, who did something quite remarkable down in Sydney Hospital. He created a titanium heart, and he has put this into a man who is now out there living in the world, and we've been lucky enough to get him into studio today. Everyone welcome Mr. Daniel Timms. Daniel, thanks for coming to chat to us. This is amazing.
Thanks for coming in, mate.
Sure, thanks for being here.
I don't know.
Oh, does he have
I
volume?
don't even know where to start, Dr. Daniel. Talk us through, that moment when you're sitting at home and going, this might be a good idea. Like,
Were you
just
listening to the
genesis of
Sia
it.
song and they thought maybe that's... Doesn't she have a song called Titanium Heart?
Yeah, Sia, right? Yeah.
You went, hang on.
exactly
Like,
right.
what was the genesis for? Like, talk us through the process.
Yeah, I mean, at the time it was like as a graduate student in QUT just down the road here. In
Really?
Brisbane. Yeah, just down the road. And
University for the real world.
that is, yeah, in the city.
Yeah, except unlike us, he got a useful degree.
Yeah. I was a graduate from there, but, I didn't quite use it the way you have.
No.
Yeah, but I guess I was fortunate to, as being a reporter, my father was a plumber, right? So, it made a little bit of sense if we're going to try to make an artificial heart, a pump. There was a bit of a history there, and so he's certainly helping out with some of those ideas as it went through, yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, totally, yeah.
So you reckon that there's a genuine correlation between
Totally.
that and what you've created with the heart?
Absolutely, yep, totally.
Oh, my God. That
I
gives
love that
gives
so
me
much.
goosebumps.
Yeah,
Isn't that
it-
crazy?
Did you ever bring your dad in to try and tell everyone how it would work better? Like, no, you need the force coming up from here and the fluid will come out there.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, as has been reported as well, he had heart failure at the time, and he passed away in
wow.
2006. But for that first 5 years, we're working together on prototypes like this. And one anecdotal story actually is in our pump right now is that he was working on pumps and pipes in the backyard and pools. And the pumps sometimes get clogged up with leaves, right?
Yeah,
So
you got to clean the
you got to
trimmer
clean it
box.
out. So
Don't act like you know, don't you? But, yeah.
So what do you do? And it's in our pump right now. So what do you do is backwash it, once a day or so to backwash the leaves out. We do the same thing in our pump now. We drop the pump speed down once every minute, just to kind of backwash things through the pump and keep everything clean.
Wow.
So it really comes down to that stage, yeah. How about that?
And heart failure is a global epidemic. It's something that, I mean, it doesn't help just our community. This is something that will go global,
It's
I assume.
worldwide. Absolutely, yeah. I mean, at the moment, we're kind of based over in the US now, and we're doing trials with the FDA, doing implants over there. We did 5 implants last year, and then we had that Aussie implant in November last year.
Now, how is the Aussie guy going? Like, you must be in touch with him quite regularly, seeing how he's feeling. How's he doing?
Yeah, I was actually down in Sydney yesterday. by and had a chat with him. He's now recovering from his heart transplant. So we had our device for 3.5 months. And he then left the hospital for a month, and then they found a heart transplant for him, which is pretty tough to do. There's not many of them around, but one come along, so it's like, okay, ready to go. So they took the titanium heart out and put a donor heart into him, and he's had that now for 2 weeks, and he's recovering in ICU. And I saw him yesterday. He was just coming out of the hospital, kind of just, sitting outside and getting a bit of sun.
So just to explain, how much of the actual heart is titanium? Because you said a donor heart. Like, is there still actual... like real heart
there is
part of it, or?
There is. I mean, actually, the heart is in 4 chambers, right? And you have 2 chambers that then feed the pumping part of the heart, the ventricles. So what we do is we remove the ventricles completely, and those 2 chambers at the top are remaining there, and they're kind of like stitched into those 2 chambers. And then the pump of our titanium heart pumps the blood around the body. And then when the donor heart happens, you take the titanium heart out and connect still to those 2 chambers there.
So the titanium heart is to be used until?
At the moment, that's what we're using it for, until the donor heart can be found. However, as we progress along and you get more confidence with the device, then they don't come back for a transplant at all. They just have this for the rest of their life. Keep the titanium heart forever.
Dr. Daniel, can I ask you, like, from your original idea, whenever that moment was that you went, oh, geez, Dad, plumbing, titanium heart, backwash could work. How long did that take, and then how much from that original idea did you stray for whatever reason, or how close is it to that original concept?
Yeah, it's interesting, actually. I mean, this is 23 years now, so 2001 is when I started PhD in Brisbane here. And then I've got a sketch in August 2001 of pretty much a cross-section of what this thing looks like right now. So it didn't stray very much at all from that original concept, yeah.
Wow, that's great.
Wow, well, so that... 24 years, is that right? 24 years
around about that,
you've been building this thing.
Yeah.
And is it, so obviously that's the heart, but the obvious progression of that is that this can be used in other parts of the body on different, organs and things like that. I mean, is that a realistic progression as well? I'm not saying we're going to be RoboCops. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, but there's that sort of.
But it
sits somewhere in the middle of that, right? Like, I don't know. Like,
yeah. Well, there's a whole community and field of artificial organ development, eyes and kidneys, like dialysis, this sort of thing is all a field of artificial internal organs, and the heart is one of them. It's a main part of that. But yeah, there's certainly other things that we learn, particularly about like how the compatible of the materials are, can be applied to other organs as well. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it's incredible. We just wanted to get you in and meet you. And that story spins me out about your dad being a plumber and the correlation there and then the original concept being almost identical to what we've got now. And how much work's gone into it? Two decades worth of work.
2 decades. But what's your day to day now? Like, are you working on new projects now? Or where do you go to work?
Yeah, I mean, it's all over the place at the moment. As mentioned, I was in Melbourne 2 days ago, then Sydney yesterday, and Brisbane here, and then back to LA on Monday. So kind of moving all over the place. But, at the moment, we're just pushing the device through more implants and more patients and, learning more about how it works and ultimately getting to that goal where we don't have to do that transplant.
Could you make Ferrari Formula One engines better?
Because
that's where he's wearing a Ferrari hat.
That's what
he was at the Grand Prix. That's what he was doing at Melbourne.
He wasn't working
in
Melbourne.
Work. Yeah. It's not all work.
Now you understand where my motivations are. Ultimately, one day I want to work for Ferrari.
Oh, there we go.
Who better than you, Doc?
Right, help them win a championship.
Oh, how fantastic.
That would be a book I'd read.
Finally doing some worthwhile work. Well, Dr. Daniel Timms, it's great to meet you, mate. Congratulations. That's truly making a difference. And thanks for joining us this morning.
Yeah, thanks again. Thanks for having me.
The Ash, Lutzi and Nikki Osborne Snackbox.
Now, I'm kind of glad that video games weren't as good when I was a kid as what they are now.
Yeah.
Because I just reckon I'd be the type of person that could have just totally consumed myself in that world. It looks like so much fun.
but they still were fun. I mean, we knew no better.
That's true.
Oh, Donkey Kong was the best, and I went deep in Donkey Kong. I would not put the console down until I completed the level that got me to the next stage. I was that girl.
Donkey Kong was on that.
I missed a lot of education.
It was on that little, it was a little bit of machinery, wasn't it, Donkey Kong?
You could get on that little handheld
Well, it started
console.
on the little one.
Yeah.
But then they did it in the Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
Okay, well, see, I didn't even do
Same
that.
as
All
Mario
I ever had
Brothers.
was just the little one. And then we had an Atari.
Oh, I had that for flights. An Atari.
Yeah, that was real old
Yeah,
school.
but
That's the OG.
My cousin had an Atari, and going over to Tim's house at the Grange and getting, it was like Pitfall, and like they were simple games.
We had
but it was
Space
like you'd landed on Mars. It was like, holy mackerel, what is this? Yeah, Space Invaders.
Well, that's it. They can give up now. They've invented everything.
Yep, that's it. It was like, we're going to go from here. Yep. Yeah.
It was like
It
that.
just kept evolving and evolving.
But anyway, you look at them now and I go, oh my God. See, the other thing is these days when they play, it's a source of connection. They've got their headsets on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They're playing with like 4 or 5 of their mates at once.
Yeah, or you can play with someone on the other side of the world if you want to.
Yeah.
You know.
Anyway,
And it's hard to know how to feel about that as a parent too, because they're connected but they're disconnected. Like they'll sit next to one another with their headsets on, and that's their play date.
Yeah,
that's
that's,
weird.
that is. That's
Weird.
how they sort of catch up and, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't actually go over to the whatever. But that's what they do.
Yeah.
But anyway, it is a great waste of time. And you think, oh, my kids are spending so much time doing it. There's a 12-year-old kid this week in Tennessee he's just turned 13, but the day before his 12th birthday, he achieved this groundbreaking scientific achievement. He reckons, this kid, he's obviously a brainiac, that he had an epiphany a few years ago playing video games where he went, what am I doing? What am I doing? What are you doing with yourself? You're
How old is he?
12. He was 9 when he had this epiphany. What are you doing?
What are you doing, you idiot?
And he turned his
I'm
attention
trying to imagine this.
to science.
Yeah, naturally.
He started getting right into his science, and a day before his 13th birthday, this week, he became the youngest person to ever achieve nuclear fusion.
Oh, get stuffed. Really? Oh, hang on. Is this the light thing where he froze light?
Well, I'm
I don't
laughing.
even know what
I
it
don't know
is.
what it is, so I don't know why I'm laughing. I don't even know what it is, but
Yeah.
it sounds good.
Yeah. He says that his obsession with science, once he gave up the video games, led him to explore the concept of nuclear fusion, a process where atomic nuclei combine under intense pressure and heat, releasing or absorbing energy.
Yeah.
So we're all clear now?
Yeah, clear as mud.
Yes.
So he was 12. It's 12 when he came to this realization.
He achieved this feat. He did it the day before he turned 13.
13, right?
Yes. And then what happened was, imagine being the parents of this kid.
Yeah.
He's on the right track. He's not playing video games. He's just done nuclear fusion. The FBI pulled up to the house of the kid, and have come in because they needed to run whatever the equipment is to see whether there'd be any nuclear radioactive waste.
It's like E.T.
which had leaked out from him achieving this feat, and there hadn't been. He's sweet.
So what's the
His sock drawer's a mess, but
how's that
that's
helping?
good.
Yeah. Yes. How's that helping? What's he do? What's that do? You
I
know?
have no idea.
You know what I mean? Like,
No, I have no idea.
Bravo! Like, it
Yes.
sounds incredible. What are you doing? 'Cause
Hang on, isn't nuclear fusion where he like freezes light, or is that something different
just
again?
explained
Honestly, it
what
just
he
sounds like a gym
He just explained it.
chain.
If you didn't get that, like I didn't get that either. The 13, because like you had that same sort of epiphany when you were about 12, Ash.
Oh,
and
here we go. Right, yeah. What was it again?
You developed your self-combustion at the age of 15, didn't you?
It was earlier than that,
Extreme
mate.
pleasure.
The Ash, Lutzi and Nikki Osborne Snackbox. Ash, Lutzi and Nikki Osborne's Caller of the Week.
Oh, what a week it's been. What a week it's been.
Oh, it's going to be hard to pick the caller of the week because we've had some big characters.
Have we?
And we've had some
We
big
have.
interviews this
Yeah,
week.
that's
So actually,
right.
a lot of those interviews are on our podcasts.
Yeah, I think
Some standalone willies out there too.
Dr. Daniel Timms, the titanium heart guy. You got Bruce McAvaney. You got the Prime Minister. I mean, check out the podcast if you get a chance today. And our podcast. There's the sports podcast. We've got
Our
a bunch of
podcasts are loose, man.
Yeah.
If you want to hear
Yeah.
something that's a little more loose
Agreed.
than what we say on air, then hit our podcast and don't complain because we've warned you.
Yes, exactly. It's loose.
Well, for Caller of the Week number 9 in the exclusive merch
We're
pack.
up to 9, are we?
Up to 9.
Holy hoo.
We're going
Gee
back.
willikers.
We're going back to Monday.
I was about 19 and I just started a retail job and I'd been out the night before an all-nighter.
Oh, dear.
Went to work and I was on my lunch break and fell asleep for an hour.
Oh.
Didn't come out of the break room an hour after. So the boss wasn't too happy and was like, where have you been for an hour?
Did you
I
fall
had a little
asleep
nap.
in the break room on your first day on the job?
Yes, I did.
That's why I get a job in
After a big
retail.
night clubbing.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
I'd still have the stamps up my arm.
Old stamps.
Do they still do the stamps?
Yeah, I had a massive one last week. Where did I go? The Triffin. It was the size of a bloody, it's huge.
Remember they used to have ones too that'd be like fluoro, like you couldn't see them and they had to shine them under the UV
Scan
light.
it.
Purple lights.
That was Felicity out of Shayla Park.
Oh, another Felicity.
Yeah.
You're not the Felicity we spoke to just before, are you?
No. Oh, it's not a very popular name. So there you go.
What about that?
Another wasn't me. It was a different one.
Well, you've picked up our 9th merch pack of the year.
Woohoo,
It comes
that's
with
awesome.
an Ashes Gone fishing bucket hat.
Oh, awesome.
And a dry
that's
harder
lovely.
towel.
Oh.
And then what would Lutzy do?
We'll
Stubby
rock
cool.
that.
They could just talk over. That's fine.
Sorry.
No, he's upset now.
Oh, it's not
he
too
wanted
late.
to. He wanted to spruik his stubby holder.
I'll be taking that to the Bronx tonight, by the way.
Oh, maybe.
Oh, cool.
Should I do that on camera, maybe?
Oh, that'd be nice if you
Yeah,
did that.
let's take it with
Well,
me.
definitely do that.
Yeah.
Run out onto the field with a towel, even though you're not allowed to do that.
No,
do it.
Mitch can, because that's his job.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mitch, run out with the towel around your neck.
Yeah, I've got a
And
land.
a stubby holder and a bucket hat.
He's got a lane. He can do what he wants.
Wear my bucket hat while you're up on the big screen.
Oh, everyone's
that.
jumping in now.
Yeah.
I started with my stubby cooler.
The thing is, these merch packs, they're really good because when they arrived, everyone was eyeballing them, particularly the sales staff.
Yeah, I stole
And-
5.
Yeah,
I stole one. I stole one. Okay.
They had to hide him after
Style
that.
Yeah, they had to hide him then. You know, if you're a street kid, you get sacked for that, mate. You get banished. He's untouchable, you know. He's an OG. He can do what he wants.
Lutzy helps himself to a free
Oh,
carton
here
of
we go.
Pasito every day.
The Ash, Lutzy, and Nikki Osborne snack box.
So, I went to Australia.
you got
yesterday.
going on?
It's okay.
What's the
Yeah,
matter?
We could sense the frustration in you.
I got my life back yesterday. I actually went and did something. But before I get into that, you know, on Instagram, on social media, we tend to have more brushes with fame than we did back in the olden days.
Yeah.
So, you know, you can reach out to your favourite celebrities and sometimes they will respond and you do your nut, just like this chick did when she got a response from Lil Wayne.
Wayne just DM'd me. I didn't know what to say. How are you supposed to say Lil Wayne? That's what you said to Lil Wayne. Come tell your father what you said to Lil Wayne. I said, OMG. You're so welcome.
So what did she
so
say?
what?
OMG, you're so
She
what?
said, OMG, you're so welcome, I freaking love you. And her and her mum, they were on the Vinos and they were having a very good laugh about it. But I had one of those moments last night. So I went to Australia Zoo yesterday.
Yeah, I saw
and
that.
I took my whole family because I got the family over from Canada. And
You got Robert.
We got Robert. Robert came out.
Crocosseum.
He did the croc feeding.
That's
like,
cool.
you never know who you're going to get. Usually you get their support staff because
Yeah.
they're off being busy and famous and shooting shows. And we couldn't get into the actual auditorium, so we're around the back, which is actually a really good place to be. And as you know, I've been creating Bush Barbie content for years now, and it was inspired by his dad, Steve Irwin. And I'm a massive fan of the Irwins. And anyway, we're watching Robert come out and then Jeremy goes, he just clocked you. I'm like, what do you mean? He said, he was looking at you. He knows who you are. I'm like, nah, he doesn't. Anyway, that night I'm scrolling on the gram and then I look at my stories where, you know, we interviewed the PM and we did all of this.
Yeah.
Guess who's watching my stories? None other than Robert Irwin.
How do you know he's watching?
You don't know how to watch who's watching you?
No.
No. Maybe this is a female thing because you can work out who your lovers and your haters are by seeing who watches your stories, but then they don't like your posts. That's how you work out when you've got frenemies. This is a whole thing.
What the hell?
Well, this is obviously a whole other segment that we need to go into.
So you could see that Robert Irwin's looking at your story, but he doesn't.
Yeah, he
does he
doesn't
follow
follow
you?
your stories.
Yeah.
I don't think he follows me yet, but I was just excited that I finally got his attention. And Jeremy said that he knows who you are, and I'm like, oh I'm just that little bit closer to doing a Bush Barbie
Collab.
Oh, would that be the dream? That'd be
This
the
is my
dream.
dream, right? This is what I wanted to do the whole time. I've never actually expressed that dream to them. I know Terry Irwin's a fan of my Drunk History episode. I know that much.
Really?
But as far as Bush Barbie, I've always been afraid to reach out in case they think I'm actually taking the mickey out of the Irwins, which I'm not.
No.
I'm a massive
It's a
fan. And they
tribute.
live around the corner. Like, I go past their house all the time on my boat. So we're that close.
We'll get
and then
Rob
when
on.
can we get Rob on?
Yeah.
No, that'd blow my socks off.
We've had him on,
come on
we've had
plenty
him
of
on a
times.
couple of times.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Oh,
a fair few
man.
times, actually, especially when he was doing that show.
Yeah, I had that weird moment with his mum.
Well,
Oh,
you
really?
did. I mean, that would be hilarious. Yeah, well, he did.
Terry says she's going to
came in
stay
here
single
one day
forever,
and
but
the-
Lutzy,
There was
I
chemistry.
give you full permission.
The
I give you
sparks
full
were
permission.
flying. That's all I'll say.
Really?
Imagine that.
Oh, I'm going to have to get you on the jet ski and we'll fang around to Terry's place, pull up at the pontoon, and I can make this magic happen.
No,
if you're going to,
I'd be the
go,
guy
go,
behind,
Terry.
but I'd be the guy behind Rob. You know, as the second guy in the Crocker Sam, because I'd be in the family then.
I'd love to see Lutzy become part of the family.
Part of the Irwin
and
family.
Put on his first car keys. Can you imagine?
The Ash, Lutzy and Nikki Osborne Snackbox.
2 words, Revo Fitness. Here's a few more. Simple, 24/7, Reformer Pilates, body scanners, massage chairs, squat racks, free weights, pin and plate loaded equipment, no lock-in contracts, no bullshit. All of that and more from just $9.69 a week. That's surprisingly affordable. Join now at Revo Fitness Windsor Gardens or download the Revo Fitness app, revofitness.com.au, or find the Revo Fitness app in the App Store.